Ever noticed how, in moments of chaos, some people break, while others become sharper, calmer, almost unstoppable? This isn't luck, and it isn't personality. It's something far more powerful: the ability to navigate what we'll call the mental wilderness. This video isn't just about resilience as a concept. It's about engineering it, brick by brick, neuron by neuron. Modern neuroscience shows that resilience is not a trait you're born with. It's a skill your brain can build, rewire, and strengthen over time. When uncertainty hits, and it always does, your brain either interprets it as a threat or as fuel for growth. Today, you'll learn how to shift that interpretation, transforming unpredictable futures from sources of anxiety into engines of confidence, clarity, and genuine well-being. Welcome to LernXpress, where we uncover the brain's hidden strengths for thriving in a chaotic world. In this episode, the mental wilderness, cultivating resilience in unpredictable futures. We'll explore how the brain adapts under uncertainty and which neurological pathways separate those who crumble from those who rise. You'll discover how regions like the prefrontal cortex and amygdala silently shape your response to stress, and how to train them intentionally. Most importantly, we'll break down actionable, science-backed strategies to cultivate cognitive fortitude in everyday life. By the end of this video, you won't just understand resilience. You'll possess a practical toolkit to master your internal psychological landscape, turning life's wild unknowns into fertile ground for growth. First, let's define the mental wilderness. It's the vast, unpredictable terrain of uncertainty. Job loss, economic instability, global crises, health scares, personal failure, moments when the map disappears and the future turns foggy. In these situations, our brains don't stay neutral. They react fast and primitively. The amygdala, your brain's threat detector, flares into action, triggering the release of stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, the region responsible for planning, reasoning, and long-term decision-making, goes quiet. This neurological shift pushes you into survival mode. Thousands of years ago, this response helped our ancestors detect predators and stay alive. In modern life, however, the same mechanism can freeze us, narrow our thinking, and trap us in cycles of anxiety and avoidance. But here's the crucial insight: resilience is not about being mentally tough by default. It's not a personality trait or a genetic gift. Resilience is the brain's adaptive superpower. Through neuroplasticity, your nervous system can rewire itself, strengthening useful circuits, weakening unhelpful ones, and learning to recover faster after stress. Several brain systems make this possible. The prefrontal cortex helps you reframe threats and plan forward. The hippocampus provides memory and context, reminding you that past hardships were survived and that this moment is temporary. The locus coeruleus regulates alertness and focus, determining whether stress sharpens you or overwhelms you. Chemical messengers play a vital role too. Dopamine fuels motivation and forward movement. Serotonin stabilizes mood and emotional balance. Together, they counteract fear and prevent stress from spiraling into helplessness. Overseeing it all is the HPA axis, the brain-body stress command system that decides when to activate stress and when to shut it off. In resilient brains, these systems don't stay locked in panic. They adapt. They recalibrate. They activate what neuroscientists call the seeking system, a deep motivational network that transforms uncertainty into curiosity, exploration, and opportunity. Instead of asking, "What if this goes wrong?" the resilient brain begins asking, "What can I discover here?" Real-world evidence shows this transformation in action. Take Viktor Frankl, a neurologist and psychiatrist who survived the Nazi concentration camps. Surrounded by unimaginable suffering, Frankl observed something extraordinary. Those who found meaning, even in horror, were more likely to survive psychologically. His work in logotherapy revealed that reframing experience doesn't just change perspective, it reshapes neural pathways, strengthening resilience by giving the brain a reason to endure and adapt. Meaning, in this sense, becomes a stabilizing force for the nervous system. We see the same principle in modern environments of volatility. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk operate in constant uncertainty, financial risk, public scrutiny, technological failure, yet often thrive. Neuroscientifically, this isn't recklessness. It's the trained activation of uncertainty as innovation fuel, where the brain's seeking system overrides fear and converts risk into exploratory momentum. Instead of avoiding the unknown, resilient minds learn to work with it. The COVID-19 pandemic provided a global stress test of resilience. Research consistently showed that individuals with strong social connections, flexible thinking, and adaptive coping strategies experienced significantly less long-term mental health decline. Social bonds acted as neurological buffers, reducing stress reactivity by engaging oxytocin pathways and calming the amygdala. In other words, connected brains regulate stress better than isolated ones. But there is a real danger here. Chronic uncertainty without recovery or meaning slowly erodes resilience. The brain becomes overloaded by what neuroscientists call entropy, a state of constant expected surprise that keeps stress systems permanently activated. Over time, this leads to anxiety, emotional exhaustion, and burnout, as the brain loses its ability to distinguish real threats from manageable challenges. Here's the empowering truth backed by science. Resilience is learnable. It can be strengthened deliberately through targeted strategies that rewire neural pathways, rebalance stress systems, and restore cognitive control. So how do you cultivate it? Let's break it down, step by step, using practical, neuroscience-backed techniques that train your brain to thrive in uncertainty, not just survive it. Step 1. Train presence through mindfulness. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind, it's about stabilizing it. Even brief meditation has been shown to quiet the amygdala, reducing fear signals while strengthening communication with the prefrontal cortex. This shift moves the brain from threat detection to curiosity and awareness. Start small. 5 minutes a day. Sit still. Breathe slowly. Notice your thoughts without chasing them. Each time you observe instead of react, you're reinforcing neural control under uncertainty. Step 2. Reframe challenges cognitively. Your brain interprets events before it reacts to them. Through a process called cognitive reappraisal, you can train it to see setbacks not as failures, but as data. Asking a simple question, "What can I learn from this?" activates reward and motivation circuits, especially dopamine pathways, transforming stress into forward momentum. Over time, this builds optimism, flexibility, and psychological endurance. Step 3. Strengthen social connections intentionally. Resilience is not a solo skill. Strong social bonds trigger the release of oxytocin, a powerful neurochemical that dampens stress responses and calms the nervous system. From a neuroscience perspective, connection literally makes the brain safer. Schedule regular conversations, Join communities aligned with your values. Even brief, meaningful interactions reinforce affiliative circuits that protect against anxiety and burnout. Step 4. Embrace novelty and move your body. Your brain thrives on movement and new experiences. Physical exercise and novelty increase levels of BDNF, a growth factor that fuels neuroplasticity and supports hippocampal health. This improves memory, emotional regulation, and stress recovery. Walk daily. Try a new skill. Change routines. Every novel challenge gently rewires your brain for adaptability and stronger coping. Step 5. Name emotions and anchor meaning. When you label emotions, I feel anxious, I feel uncertain, you integrate emotional and cognitive brain regions, reducing overwhelm and restoring control. Pair this with meaning making. Purpose activates the brain's seeking system, giving stress a direction instead of letting it spiral. Try journaling at night. I feel X because of Y. What is this teaching me? That single habit can reshape how your brain processes adversity. Final thought. The mental wilderness is not a threat, it's a training ground. Uncertainty is where the brain either collapses into fear or evolves into strength. By understanding and deliberately harnessing your brain's adaptive systems, you turn chaos into competence, stress into skill, and the unknown into opportunity. Resilience isn't something you wait for, it's something you build. Uncertainty isn't the enemy, it's the invitation. Every generation is shaped not by what it knows, but by how it responds when certainty disappears. The mental wilderness you face today is the same terrain where resilience is forged, purpose is clarified, and strength is revealed. The question is no longer whether life will challenge you. It's whether you'll train your mind to rise when it does. If this video gave you a new lens on resilience, don't let it end here. Apply one strategy today. 5 minutes of presence. One reframed challenge. One meaningful connection. Small actions, repeated, reshape the brain, and with it, your future. If you're committed to mastering your mind in a chaotic world, subscribe to LernXpress. We break down the neuroscience of growth, resilience in humans, potential. So you're not just reacting to the future, but actively shaping it. Like this video to signal that you're ready to train your brain for uncertainty. Share it with someone navigating their own mental wilderness. And tell us in the comments, which strategy will you start with today? Because the future will remain unpredictable. But your response to it doesn't have to be.